Hey everyone, welcome into our home today. We're really glad to have you all here. This video is going to be a little bit out of the ordinary compared to the normal content that we put out here on this channel. We're going to be going over our Duradero steel toe moccasin work boots here. This is going to be kind of a 3-month check-in. If you're interested to know more about these boots, stick through the intro and we'll dig right into it. All right, so let's briefly cover who Duradero boots are. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty, just cover the basics and then we'll move right into the 3-month review. If you do want to know more about the company, who they are, where they started, and more about the boots, I do have an unboxing video that I can put up here in the corner somewhere above my head. So Duradero boots, they started just recently. Not a very old company. They are based out of California. Boots are manufactured in Mexico at this point. Not sure where their future goes, but right now they are manufactured in Mexico. As of 2023, they are going to have 2 models available. It is going to be the 6-inch steel toe moccasin, and then the other one is going to be a 6-inch non-steel toe moccasin. From what I've seen on social media, it looks like they are going to be coming out with some newer models. I don't know if that means waterproof or if it means mock toe 8-inch. Not really sure, but it does sound like, based on their responses on social media, that they do have bigger plans to expand their lineup, which is awesome. Not everyone is going to want these particular boots or this style boot, so please the masses and give them options. So I think that's great. All right, so on to the 3-month review, wear and tear, and just kind of what my thoughts are so far. All right, so I just want to give all of you kind of a basic rundown as to how I use these boots. Between my personal life and then my full-time job, I would roughly calculate that I've spent close to 600 hours inside these boots wearing them. It might be a little under what the actual number is. I don't wear a pedometer, so I have no idea how many steps I took, but I can roughly be comfortable with the number, the estimate of 600 hours for sure. So personal life, we do run a very small farm here at our house. So I do everything. We run the tractor, welding, digging ditches, plumbing, all kinds of stuff like that, whether it be in the dirt or just around the house, gardening. I try to wear these boots as much as possible. The only time I really don't is when we're messing around inside the pig enclosure. I do have a separate set of boots that I will change out just for biosecurity reasons. And then also, I have my full-time job. I spend 40 hours a week there. It's a 4-10 schedule. So kneeling, climbing on ladders, climbing up into bucket trucks, walking around inside the substations, the rocks that they use in there. We have volcanic kind of rock material, and then we have like standard kind of almost like limestone 57 rock. So a lot of uneven surfaces, a lot of aggressive, asphalt concrete situations. So I have seen some wet environment, but I'm not spending a whole lot of time inside of a wet ditch or knee deep in water. So I wouldn't be able to give you that side of it. For the most part, they probably have not seen the worst conditions that some of you watching this video may be able to put them through. But for someone who is looking for a really good looking boot that maybe like an engineer or a field engineer, I think a steel toe or just a regular may be great for that situation where you need the protection and you want a good looking boot to go with it. If you guys got any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. If you feel like I didn't cover anything on these pros and cons, I'll be glad to answer them for you. But I'm just going based on the evidence that I've found while wearing these boots. So I'll say the first pro is going to be there's a very decent break-in period. I kept track of the day I started wearing them, and then pretty much when I came home, if I felt like, hey, my feet weren't really sore, they kind of feel like they've found their spot. That would be a 5-day period for me. and we'll kind of cover as to why I think that was such a short period where some people would say like maybe a Red Wing boot still isn't, maybe worn in or still isn't broken. The ankle support, like I was saying earlier, we are in a lot of uneven, rough terrain. Ankle support is great for that kind of stuff. If you know what I'm talking about, rolling an ankle or working on like an embankment or working in an area where you're kind of unsure of footing, that ankle support will really help you be able to work longer and stand in that kind of uncomfortable position for a longer period of time. As well as there is really nice room inside the toe. Most of your steel toes, they don't, I feel like they don't compensate for where your feet kind of run into the front of the boot. And that room that they calculated that your foot is going to need, the steel or composite toe deducts from that room. I feel like Duradero was a little bit more thoughtful in that they figured out, they knew how much room was going to be taken up, and then they added it to where your toes need to be instead of subtracting it from the original calculation. Another note I have here is for firm and stable footing. That kind of goes back to, or with the ankle support, I think. I had a chance to put on some of the older pair of boots that I had before I started wearing these Duraderos, and it is amazing to walk around in those and see the night and day difference between the set of Wolverines that I had. If I was to walk on a rock, it's almost like my foot wrapped around the rock. If I walked over that same larger rock or something like that, or piece of debris, the Duradero is pretty much like you're moving the floor with you. You've got that nice flat surface everywhere you step, and everything you step on with full weight. I don't know how else to explain that unless you've kind of been in the same position that I was just explaining to you. As you can see here, leather color is still pretty dark. I would say that you can definitely tell where I picked up kind of the grime and the dirt over the time. There's definitely a little bit difference in the color. That's going to be primarily for me not really keeping up with cleaning them and then like properly conditioning them. I think if I did that more, it would probably be maybe have a regular tone all the way through. But I've got some scratches, I've got some wear and tear on these, and you don't see where it's taken it down to the original leather color. It's the dye that they used seems like it's like penetrated into it, not necessarily like a surface coat on it. Again, it seems like based on my notes here, I've written down a few things, but they all kind of seem to parallel each other. Last pro that I have here is going to be comfortable standing or walking for longer periods of time. Also the like kneeling, like squatting down. Like I said, maybe with a welder, you're in an uncomfortable position, you're not able to lay down, you can't stand up, you kind of got to be in that in-between state. The boots really tend to give you that comfortable, we'll call it like a break or a crease to allow your foot to bend. But when you stand back up and straighten back out and you go to walk or whatever it is, the crease isn't cutting into the top of your foot. It rebounds, the leather will rebound as you get out of that uncomfortable position. I don't know if that has to do with the leather thickness, but it is something that is noticeable compared to some other boots that I've worn in the past. Being in those positions for a long period of time almost kind of permanently cement that crease, and you'll always feel it. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt your video here, but if you would like to help support us and what we're doing and to continue great videos like the one you're watching, click on the link down there in the description and buy one of our t-shirts. They're not very expensive and they go back to our farm, and it really helps us out. So click the link below and enjoy the show. No?
That's good.
Click the link below.
Okay, so let's cover some of the negative aspects that I've seen in the last 3 months here. As some of you may know, some of you might not, the Goodyear welt design that these boots have, the stitching that you see all the way around this boot One of the drawbacks to it is that they do not offer waterproofing or a waterproof protection. So in those situations I was saying earlier, when I had to like maybe cross a ditch, or I've had to kind of walk through some puddles to get into an area, there was a little bit of water intrusion. If you are looking for a waterproof boot, this design right here is not going to be the option you want to go with. So another drawback I've run into, and I'm not necessarily sure how we came about, some of the stitching has come apart. One of the major issues that I would point out would be this little flap right here that goes along the side. I can't pinpoint exactly where it happened, but as you can see right there, we're totally off. The reason I'm not really worried about these are Duradero will give you the first resole on them as a part of the purchase of the boots, the original purchase of the boots. You will get one free resole. Along with that, they are going to go in and they're going to repair any stitching. They're going to recondition the leather, and they're going to, I think, maybe give you a new set of laces and possibly a new set of insoles. So all that will be covered on the first resole. And I would gather to say that any resole or any time you send them in later on after that, they'll probably offer that same exact service. It'll just be some sort of upcharge. It'll be some sort of fee to get that stuff done. If we look on the bottom here, you'll see that the tread, it is kind of a non-slip tread. And one of the other things that they kind of point out is, shock absorbing and, providing a comfortable wear, comfortable kind of cushion. The one drawback to that I believe is that to get everything that they are marketing, you have to go with a softer sole. You've got to go with something that is going to, absorb that shock instead of carry the shock up to your foot. The wear is going to be a little bit quicker, I think, than a harder sole that you'll find on some other boots. So one of those drawbacks for having that softer sole is going to be, like you see right here in the toe area, where I've kind of banged into things or kicked my feet off. All that has kind of gotten beat up and almost like very porous. And if you look over here, maybe an area where I step constantly, maybe on a ladder, or maybe when I'm driving, a chunk within the tread, if you follow the tread up, a chunk here is kind of broke off. These are all things that boot manufacturers and the customers need to be aware of when you're buying. We can't get a very comfortable boot and then expect the wearable parts to last a very long time. It just doesn't work that way. You're going to get comfort and items that are going to wear down, or you're going to be slightly uncomfortable and have items that are supposed to last for a long period of time. There's got to be an exchange here. And I think what Duradero is doing is offering a comfortable wearing boot that will have parts that need to be taken care of at some point in time once they've reached their maximum lifespan. This one over here really isn't any different. I don't have any major chunks removed from it, but again, you can see the porous area that I was talking about before on the other boot that I was showing you. Another thing is too, the welt that is stitched over here into the toe, all that is almost gone. So at some point in time, I imagine when this is fully gone and the sole does start to delaminate, that is going to cause a separation between these parts right in here. And pretty much the last major con, I would say, or the issue that I've kind of run into, again in parallel with the sole of the boot, is these insoles. While I would agree that they are very comfortable, kind of like I said, I think that's what they're aiming for. The problem I ran into within the first week or two of wearing them is this very top layer, like this very top piece of fabric, started delaminating and coming off very, very rapidly. I thought maybe I would have a little bit more time. It's a fabric that I believe is kind of glued onto the foam, I don't know if the technology is out there, but I almost kind of wonder if there's a way to make a foam insole that is comfortable like this, but to be able to like impregnate the top layer or to impregnate the surface of the foam with some sort of kind of fabric material or some sort of top protective layer where you could put your name and logo and stuff like that on it. Very similar to like zipboard that you would see on the outside sheeting of houses. I think again this is a wearable part. This is not something that's made to last for a very long time. Duradero should give you a set of these inside your boots when you do send them in to be resoled, so you will get a replacement. But I got a feeling here in my very near future I'm going to get a third-party aftermarket to put inside here, because I don't think these are going to last as long as the soles will. So, but anyways, for right now they are still comfortable. I will still wear them, but you can see they do take a lot of abuse. All right, well, it's been a little bit of a journey. Hopefully I haven't bored everyone too much. My wife is behind the camera falling asleep as I'm filming this, so I'm sure all of you guys will really be impressed by this video. I really do appreciate Duradero working with us and giving us the opportunity to test these boots out. I think they'd be a great purchase for the price point, and I'm still very happy with them. I'm going to continue to wear them. I'm going to see you guys in another 3 months. We'll do a 6-month update, and we'll see how much more abuse we can put these things through, and hopefully you guys will come back and watch us. So if you enjoyed this video, if you'd like to look at some other videos that we have that might interest you, go ahead and check out our channel, check out some playlists, leave me a comment down below if you fell asleep through this video. Hopefully you didn't, but thank you again, Duradero. Thank you everyone for stopping by and watching this video. Hit the subscribe button, even if you don't watch another one of our videos. It'll really help us out. And yeah, we'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy.